We want to give it a try. It has cut the Beaumonts from the main deck, which I don't hate in this meta. There's not been a lot of control decks around lately, and it's put a few more of the high-end cards and a few more removal spells in it. And I'm really interested in trying this because this is closer to how I sideboard with red-black anyway most matches. Don't know if it's good. I assume I'm just going to like red-black more, but any chance to play Nicobolus is a good chance, in my opinion. Or like a good day, in my opinion. A good dance, in my opinion. Good something. La-di-da. I don't know. Just exhaustingly tired, so I just want to babble. There's no Heart of Kirans in this list either, which is another thing I kind of like right now. They're good in a few matches, and they make Iron License Disintegrations considerably better, but I am just trying to be a little bit more mid-rangey. Wouldn't mind some Doomfalls in the sideboard. But anyway, this is a stock 5-0 list we saw. We've made no alterations to it. We'll see how it plays out and see if we like it. And maybe we're never, ever, ever, ever going to get a Q to fire. This is a Q. I guess this hand's keepable. Is this hand keepable? Like, we don't even have a blue mana? We've got, like... I'm gonna keep it. We have a couple removal spells. And time. The time's the key part in this equation. We get paired versus a red deck right off. I'm going to take this 1 point of damage because I'd rather Magma Spray a Scrap Heap Scrounger. And most of the red decks we get paired versus right now are Scrap Heap Scrounger decks. Hopefully the 1 point of damage won't matter too much if they do have it. That's probably the worst draw in our deck. Which is obviously fun for us. Guess we'll go ahead and kill this. It's not a bad one. We can at least play Nicobolus next turn. Problem is, this is one of the matches that like Nicobolus isn't great versus. They have Chandra, they have Glorybringer, they have Murder, and they have Cut. So it's just like Glorybringer is really not at its best in this match. I can see an argument for just like passing and like trying to get the Scarab out instead. Actually, I think I like that more. Let's just preserve our life total as well. It's like only really bad versus Chandra itself. I should have done this before he attacked. Because there's, you know, a non-zero chance they have a pump spell. It's unlikely, but there's no reason to even give them that opportunity, right? Like, if we can play around it, why even give them that percentage? Yeah, well, we're still on 4 lands on turn 6. That means we've had 6 draw steps and not hit a land. Or, sorry, only hit 1 land and 6 draw steps. That's what I meant to say. Hey Boot, what's up? So I'd say there's a pretty good chance that they have a Murder Bolt or something that can kill this Scarab God. think I'm willing to block if they attack and not really worry about whether they have a braid or not. Because I kind of want to preserve my life total. How's it been going, bub? It's going pretty good so far. Dead tired. Got turned down for TCG Direct, but other than that, can't really complain. Hey Nukes, what's up? It's the only main deck cards we have. Jace's defeats and negates in the sideboard. This is basically just the red-black deck that's splashing the lightest stuff. Really? That was like a pretty long tank on making that play, I think. I've got paired versus a few times and not did well with it, but it's just something for sellers. So I figured we'd give it a try. But here we are now on turn 1,000,000 and not drawing another blue land. Right on time, blue land. You're exactly what we needed. I don't really feel like I can take 5 here. Probably have to chump. I wonder if it's ever right to cast Nicobolus. It's probably not. This card can just win games. If they don't have another Murder Bolt. They attack with both. It's like pretty impossible for them to not have an Abrade. Is that right? Yeah. They take 2 damage overall. Not super concerned about 2 damage. Rip. That hurts. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, we have a decent chance if they brick this turn. We have almost no chance if they don't. So we can start playing double spells from every turn after this. Oh, we definitely have to take the 2. Just make the same block. It's fine. They drew another Abrade, they drew another Abrade. Chandra's kill us and everything now, though, so like it makes it really hard for us to win. And they have Lightning Strikes in their deck, which is a totally unplayable card in this current meta. Pretty salty to lose like how we lost, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. We're just going to bring in all of our removal spells. Take out some of our sillier cards. Like, this is a match that I think we're pretty good or pretty well set up for. So, like, even though we're down a game, it doesn't bother me that much. Just have to try to not draw as miserably in game 2. Well play. Keep. It's a good hand. Apparently got in 12 emails since I started the stream. That's something from eBay Toys that's titled Make-Believe Models to Futuristic Robots. It's just a weird name. Yeah, it was a weird name for an email, wasn't it? I guess there's some kind of fancy new toy. I'm not sure. I assume if I cast Chain Whirler, it's just gonna die. Man, I'll be so sad when the fast lands rotate. I hope they give us something at least moderately as good. You know, something like, I don't know, fetch lands? Or shock lands? I don't know why I said fetch lands. I have all our colors this game. That feels good. We just have to get one of our big spells to play with them. Oh, that feels good too. Um, Trying to decide how badly I want to keep the Chandra's defeat. I think I kind of want to keep it. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I was just trying to decide whether for some reason I wanted to keep my mana freed up, but I think I just prefer this. Cause I was thinking like maybe I wanted to like Chandra's defeat, then play the Chain Whirler, but there's nothing else for us to do with 2 mana in this deck. We'd had to draw like exactly Karizev because we sideboarded out Scrap Heap Scrounger, and I actually think that the Chandra's defeat has some value. Let's see what card we draw before we decide here. It was actually probably bad because we couldn't kill this in the other scenario. Like we had to draw a burn spell, but keeping Chandra's defeat for a Chandra or a Glorybringer though doesn't feel horrible. Ooh, that one sucks for me. That one sucks for me too. So now the Chandra's defeat doesn't let us attack. Yeah. If they draw a Chain Whirler, we probably have to defeat the mage. Hazard. It's a good one. Huh. Guess I have to take it. Kill that one so we can attack back. That was a good draw. So they're at 1 life because of the cut in our graveyard. So we basically just have to draw a land. Just having to draw a land feels good. No, I don't want to take... I have to take that 3 no matter what. I don't think I want to take this. Though maybe I should, since a Glorybringer still just kills us. So we can make this not block. That doesn't help. Glorybringer doesn't kill us anymore, so at least we got that going for us. They have to draw something. Alright. Bloodfast plus Scarab God's tempting, but pretty sure I just want to stay with this very heavy removal deck. Like, we have 15 removal spells, 17 if you count Glorybringer with this setup. I think we're just going to run it back. I like the being on the draw with the Nicoboluses and stuff seems relevant. Oh, this is a pretty funky little hand here. Don't hate it. Kari Zeb would be bad news. That's bad news. Couldn't be the one that we'd be good against, could it? Less bad news. Now we're just playing off curb. Which is acceptable, but sucks. Maybe I could have played this on turn 1. That might have been the better play overall. But then if we just draw another fast land, that would suck. Whirly boy. Oh, well, we get to also play one. Theirs being the first that comes down's pretty good, but double Nicobolus is hopefully going to be helpful. Will easily block if he attacks. Like, would very much like to make this trade. Guess I'm gonna play this. There's some chance that I'm supposed to play like Kari Zev and Magma Spray here. That way, like, Glorybringer doesn't, like, destroy me so badly. But, like, Glorybringer's still pretty good even in that situation. Hazard it. Well, now we have to draw an Hour of Glory or the game's over. Not an Hour of Glory. What do you do? Anything? You put blockers on the table. Putting blockers on the table is not the worst thing, I guess. Why did our opponent keep a land in their hand? Oh, so they can't Glorybringer it. Fair. Guess I'm taking that. Alright, so we're just a Kari Zev away, but we missed our land, so we can't get a Kari Zev from them. Can't really attack. Whatever I play is on chump block duty. Well, we have 2 hours of glory in our deck. That is our only chance at this point. Couldn't attack because the removal spell would have beat us. He untaps, he beats us anyway. So we effectively have one draw step here. Oh well, that's unfortunate. Feel like we're a pretty big favorite in this match, but you saw how game 1 come down. If we don't draw mana to cast our spells, we can't win. Game 2, we just got smashed by Hazoret. It's going to happen some number of games. All we needed to draw was Hour of Glory or a Soulscar Mage, and we would have been pretty good. And I think we played well. Well, we'll keep this. We have removal spells. We have a good early card. Put that on the bottom. We just want lands. I said we want lands, not our 3-color card. It doesn't have any lands that doesn't produce red in it, though. So that's something to keep in mind. And that's also a lie, there's a faded pulls, but I like to pretend that I'm telling the truth sometimes. It's fun. Alright, deck, you can do it. Land us. That is a land. See what big drop he has now. Another land would be swell. We like swell things here. That one doesn't do much. I guess we're not attacking then. If he uses the Oasis or whatever, we can freely chump because we have the second bolus. And if he had something like he would have to have like a Kinra, a land, and a Galta for a Galta to come down, and a Blossoming Defense. He doesn't have enough cards for all of that, so we can murder boat pretty much anything that he plays. Pretty sure I'm just going to attack for 4. We'll probably just attack for 8. Get this game over with in 2 attacks. I just don't know what they could draw. Doesn't feel like we can lose this game if we just play defense. It feels like there's some number of draws that they could win the game with if we don't. Alright, so mono green. I think this card's good, and I think these are good, but we're pretty well set up for this match. I don't really want any of those, but I don't have a last card to bring in. So I'm just going to leave this thing in. That was a pretty easy keep. We don't have very many removal spells, which is often like a very negative thing versus the Stompy decks. It's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll draw our lands. They have the nuts. And we currently don't even have a third land, so... not looking good this game. Basically have to draw 3 lands in a row, and he'll not have a Blossoming Defense. The first land probably needs to come into play untapped. Well, what I just described is now not good enough because we missed our land. Wouldn't have been too bad if we hit our land. Well, we're 100% dead now, but what do you do when your opponent's on the play with an elf and you're stuck on 2? We're playing 26 lands, so the fact that we've now lost 2 games due to our lands in just 5 games is already aggravating. Though one of them actually was colors, it wasn't count, so... good luck at that. Our sealed PPTQ this weekend had 13 players. You could go 2-1-1 and top 8 it. It's kind of ridiculous. Alright, we'll keep this hand's very good. The 2-1-1 top 8ing of the PPTQ. And then to top that off, I'm pretty sure that there was probably only 2 people in the entire top 8 that had drafted before, like more than once or twice. There might have been nobody that's drafted even 3 times in that entire top 8. I don't know that to be accurate, it's just an assumption. Drafted the format 3 times, rather. We have a very good draw this game. 3-1-1's usually a lot most places, but 2-1-1, that's big time. Oh, our hand may not be good enough. If I can kill the Still Leaf Champion, I think it's worth it for the Chain Whirler. And if I can't, it's not blocking, so I might as well get in 3 points of damage. Either way, it seems like a net positive, and now we have to figure out a way to survive 5 turns, or 4 turns. Why was he letting you in for free? That's kind of weird. I think he changed the prize support too, which I think is weird as well. Because Christian mentioned prize packs, and there was no prize packs anywhere in the pay support. This is a play mistake. I should have played my land before I attacked, because he could have the instant speed way to block this or whatever. It was a pretty large mistake by me. Why is he getting design work done? I thought he's trying to go out of business. It's like literally trying to sell his stock. We have Hours of Glory too. It'd be nice to draw ours. Well, I'm certainly not blocking. I'm just attacking. What do you do? Feels like it's not worth attacking here. Actually, it's probably worth it. We have to clock him. So if he has a way to fight the Chain Whirler plus a Blossoming Defense, we lose. So I think he's dead here. No, I think we're 1 off lethal, ain't we? I think we're 1 off lethal. So if we try to kill this, and they have a Blossoming Defense, we could sack the Thopter and not make it blocked, and we're getting through with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we would use 3 mana, so we could only cut for 1. We could also just attack with everything, and that's probably not good. It's probably better just to try to kill this and see what happens. I think I'm actually going to leave the Thopter on defense. Thopter on defense gives me an out to a pump spell, but he didn't have it last turn. Oh, shoot, you're right. I would have won with the second Prowess trigger. I was counting one of them. I wasn't counting the second. That's a good call, Joe. I missed the second Thopter trigger. I'm gonna make this attack, but it's like pretty bad if he has exactly a second blossoming defense. So now we have two things that can block this. And then the following turn we have 4 damage with this. That's a good call. I definitely missed the second Paralysis trigger. So I guess we should have won that turn. It needs a second blocker here. And if they have it, they have it. If they had a double blossoming defense, we wouldn't have won that one turn, though. But if they had a second blossoming defense, they would have probably used it on killing the P or something the turn before. They're going to let you in college? That's wild to me. I figured you were more likely to be heading to jail. Gobo, or Gabo, this is, we've played 5 games with it, and amount of mana's come up once, or come up twice, and colors has come up, sorry, amount of mana's come up once, and colors has come up once already in 5 games. The pools itself hasn't been a problem, though. Just like not drawing blue sources has been a problem. Well, again, like I said, we played 2 matches, so 1 out of 6 games. I don't know if that's a problem. We'll have to play more and find out. It's another green deck. Or at least greenish deck. These decks are very hard to beat. Actually going to lead with this one just in case they have the Still Leaf Champion. Yeah, I'll take 4 damage this way, but I get to deal 6 back. Yeah, they didn't have it. Actually don't like that. That scares me. Don't want to waste my entire turn just casting a Braid. Because if I do and they have... I don't know, maybe it was better to. Like, feels to me like they could just play a number of different 5/4s next turn and we're just SOL. Yeah, it could not be worth it. Like I said, I just took a stock list. Feels to me like they had like 25 lands they were pretty happy with, and then they were like, What's another dual land that can get us our off colors? And then it just like shoved it in. I said shoved it in. If they're attacking with the Scrap Heap Scrounger, they 100% have a Blossoming defense, so. I don't know how we beat a Blossoming defense from here. Guess we'll start with that. Attack for 6. 2 Blossoming defenses kills us. Just a land kills us if we attack for 6, so I guess we're just attacking for 3 then. Feels like they pretty much 100% have the Blossoming defense, though. Which means I have to call this turn. I just have to block. There's nothing I can do about it. Eldritch Reborn's a good Magic card, I think. Now we're in a bad situation. Oh, that's not actually that bad for us. This gives us 2 different blockers now. And we get to bash for 6. Two blockers feels pretty strong on this board. We won't beat another Blossoming defense with this hand. Unless we like draw an untapped land. And then it's even kind of questionable. Deck, you can do it. One time, another land. It's not asking too much, is it? Just like casually draw an untapped land. That one's not good enough. We are still just dead unless they make a very bad block. Or a very greedy block, I guess, is another way to say it. And we are dead, right? Eh. Maybe they'll miss bringing back the Scrap Heap Scrounger and we'll get another try. Never mind, they had 2 Blossoming defenses. We've been dead for like 3 turns then. I wonder if I played that game poorly. There was definitely slightly more conservative lines I could have taken. They didn't even have a very good draw and they just beat us. I think we win that game if we hit a 5th land, so I'm going to chalk that up to the third game that we've had some kind of mana problems in 3 out of 7 games that we've had some kind of mana issue. I think the red-black decks are actually pretty favored versus red-green, or versus the green decks. But we've definitely had some pretty mediocre land draws. For example, here's another game. We're going to be moving up to 4 out of 8 games where we've had some kind of mana issue because of the bad fetid pulls. So it seems like adding the blue to this deck's been a significant downgrade. Hmm. So far, we've won every game that we could play a 4-drop on 4. I feel like that's going to be really common. That's not a 4-drop on 4. The double blocks will abrade this, and then first strike it off the planet. There's a good chance that I would have abraded it that turn, regardless, but give him a chance to make the bad block first, I think. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So even if they have a land, they won't be able to... This is bad. It's kind of almost throwing a Chandra away. It's I'm definitely going to try to chump block with the Soulscar Mage if given the opportunity, and he could have a lot of things to make all of this turn out bad, but... Yeah, that's one of those things that could make this turn out bad. Blossoming Defense also kind of just makes it turn out pretty bad, but... Getting a Blossoming Defense out of his hand before before we play either of these cards seems okay. Ronus. Well, that changes everything. And now we can't protect this. So we just kind of got super wrecked. Just got super wrecked. Second blossoming defense. Christ. We can't even draw our fifth land with 26 in the deck, and our opponent's drawn double blossoming defense in like their top 13 or 14 cards both games. I mean, what was a better line? Using Glorybringer and exerting it, and if they have blossoming defense, I'm still just dead into attacks. How does plussing make any sense? If we plus, we can't save Chandra at all. Oh. I see what you're saying. I hadn't made my decision that I was casting Hour of Glory yet. Then I just kind of punted it off like an idiot. It doesn't matter. We lost the game when he had the blossoming defense. 2 damage doesn't matter, but I understand what you're saying. There's nothing else I can use. Like, I can only cast Hour of Glory on that turn. We don't even have an out. Alright, well, we have no out. We missed 2 points of damage, but it didn't affect the game at all. I wouldn't have played it, though. I would have still just Hour to Glory Ronus. Like, I have a 1-drop creature, but what does playing a 1-2 and a Pia do? Have not played against Control. Played against Stompy twice, Red Black once, and Stompy twice and Red Black once. And mana's been a constant issue. Again, mana's another issue. So now we've had mana problems in more than half the games. Just Red Black's just a significantly better deck than this. Now, I should have, like I said, I should have got the damage. That was a mistake. Not getting the damage was definitely a play error. I mean, we had the mulligan to get the mana, so I count that as a strike against the lands, but that's just me. I'm not denying, like I said, it's definitely a play mistake, it just didn't affect the game. It's definitely a play mistake. This thing's never blocking, so it might as well attack. Nice draw. Fun times for all. It didn't downtick because if they have glory, or sorry, if they have a chain welder, we just lose the Chandra and this. Like downticking seems pretty bad. I'm pressed into blocking. I don't really want to. That's actually kind of useful, right? So you can just kill this, tick up Chandra, hold a braid. Guess we'll hold on License Disintegration for whatever he plays. Could be a Glorybringer or something, so. Like, we'll wait and do it. This is a Hazret, we're just like dead. We're never beating a Hazret though, so I don't feel like there's any reason to play around one. Main deck? Oh, it's frustrating. Nothing we can do against it either. And we still have some draws potentially. As long as they don't hit a Glorybringer or a Hazret, like we still have turns. Our own Glorybringer would be nice. Okay. Well. It is 8 damage they have. I want them attacking with a Soul Scar Mage, which is why I didn't Magma Spray on my turn. Also kind of want them attacking my head. Only truly get punished in this manner if they draw Murder Boat. Could play for a land to win. 2 cards in their hand. What's the chances that one of them's bad? Next to none, right? Yeah, they had something else. Who would have ever guessed? So just I can't block, so just a million dead. Well, that's fun. Uh, we're so far ahead that game. It just didn't matter. Wonder if we made any really bad decisions. We don't draw Scarab Gods ever when it matters. That's fair. We drew our mana this game. We just drew no creatures or anything. It's kind of what we want. They should have sideboarded out Chandra, so that means they don't have a threat we actually care about. JK. They have a threat we care about. They have those and Phoenixes in their deck. Well, we sideboarded in our 2 hours of glory. And we have 2 Soulscar mages we can draw, so we have 4 outs to the Hazoret. Because we have Kari Zevs in our deck, and we could just have a 2-drop we could play. Like, there's 2 drops in our deck. This turns off Soulscar Mage as an out, but that's okay. We also have Soulscar Mages, but I probably wouldn't have played a naked Soulscar Mage. Alright, well, we got 2 hours of glory. We don't have long to get them. Well, Soulscar Mage just turned back on. We basically get 1 draw step. We've literally not drawn a creature this game. This is disgusting too, because now they can crew and we have to spend our spell, so we have no out now at this point. I mean, we can draw exactly, our glory or whatever, but we basically have no out. I don't think control's very good right now. I think control's like super medium. The threats are better than the answers. Like, it's playable, but like they're not tier 1. And voila! We just played an entire game where we drew 0 creatures. I'm typically a control player. That's like kind of what I'm known for playing, and like I don't even play it in this format because I don't think it's good. We played a last match for just the kicks of it, but we can't prize anymore. By the way, welcome back to Standard, the People's format. I thought about trying Bantlands. I saw it's got a couple 5-0s, but like I feel like it still just doesn't beat the red-black decks and stuff. Like, the red-black deck's just so good. So is the Storm deck. Like, they cause so many problems, those two decks. But I have saw that Bantlands has got a couple of 5-0s recently, and I kind of want to test it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I think Modern's the worst format that has ever been made in the history of Magic, and I've played literally since the beginning of Magic. The games are almost predetermined if the players draw reasonably well and have even a moderately reasonable skill level. There's way too much variance in the pairings. I like Standard because Standard, it generally doesn't matter what you get paired versus. Like, there's very few 80-20 matches. There's very few 70-30 matches. In Standard, every match feels kind of like Jund percentages. And, like, that's exactly where I want to be when I'm playing a tournament for a prize. Like, I want to be in that Jund realm where every deck's like a 60-40 deck, and you can like maneuver yourself to be to like try to gain an advantage here, or like, if you're just a step above your opponent, you can actually like make good decisions and be like profitable in doing so. And I just don't feel like there's a lot of that in Modern. Don't get me wrong, there's some. There's some. For anybody who out there who's a Modern fan saying like, or saying that, like, their deck's, closer to Jund or whatever, like, yeah, I'm not saying that there's none, but I just feel like there's a lot more of the other, and I just don't like that. I don't like sitting down at the game and thinking the match is close to predetermined. Not too worried about a Lord of the Curse, so I'm just going to send a Chain Whirler. I'm going to go ahead and play this land too because we have 5 drops in our deck. I'm going to get really tilted if our opponent just like, plays 2 drop, 3 drop, 4, something on 4, and then a Liliana, considering I've played the zombie deck 3 times now and still have never had a Liliana on turn 5 a single time. Like, I'll definitely be quite tilted if that occurs. That was so good for us that he played that. Should have attacked first, technically, but I don't think he's blocking anyway. Alright, so since we can't prize, we're going to tell our opponent that we can't prize so they don't scoop. So, I don't want to knock anybody out of prize support, especially when we ourselves can't get any. So, hopefully our opponent speaks English. And hopefully they read the chat. Okay, sweet. They speak English and can read the chat. I know that sounds a little like foul, maybe even a little racist, but I don't mean it like that. I just mean there's a number of opponents that have either not read the chat or not been able to understand what I was writing or whatever, and then like we've accidentally beat them because they've scooped. And I feel really bad when that happens, and like I don't want to feel bad over a game of Magic. Like I don't want to feel like I've done somebody wrong. Uh, I'm pretty much a lock to Magma Spray this. If I had a Chain Whirler, maybe we wouldn't, but the Baron of Death. That's everybody's favorite Baron. This match is really good for us, I think. I don't know how the red-black match lost the Open this week. Assuming they just like drew horribly or whatever. But this match is pretty fantastic. They need like multiple of that type of spell for us to even be afraid. Hey, we played a 5-drop on turn 5. Everybody do a dance. I'm dancing in real life, you just can't see me. Yeah, we'll do the snap no block here. Go ahead and play this as well. We're just never, ever, ever blocking, so we're definitely attacking. That's a pretty good one, but we still have the Hours of Glory in our hand, so. Guess I'm taking that damage too. I probably shouldn't take that damage because if I get back this thing, it's going to be a 4/4, and we'd have a chance to block. So that's probably a mistake, to be honest. Also got those in the wrong order, probably. And they had the Fatal Push anyway, which is why they were free to attack last turn. Kind of guessed they did, but it still doesn't mean it was a good attack by me. We could lose this game still, depending on what's in their hand right now. That's not something we have to worry about. So so we can attack for 10. I'm only going to cut for like 2 just so I don't misclick or whatever. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and scoop to them. So we beat zombies. He didn't draw his 5-drop. In my experience, the zombies decks don't really win very often when they don't draw the 5-drops. So what did I think about this deck? The deck was obviously powerful because like Nicobolus is an extremely powerful card, but like you're giving up your Hazoret spot for Nicobolus, you're giving up your Rekindling Phoenix spot for Nicobolus, and you're adding a mana problem to your deck, and that alone makes me think that, you know, just playing red-black slightly better. Then we move over to the Scarab God, and like Scarab God's just clearly great. If blue's worth splashing, it's because of the power of Scarab God. I don't know if blue's worth splashing. The counter spells are like whatever. It seems like there's... Thanks, Nukes. Thanks for stopping by. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of control in the format right now, so I don't know if you need the counter spells currently. I'm not saying that there wouldn't be a time that you need them, just like based on the Moto meta. Like, anybody who watches the stream every day can just tell you there's just not a lot of blue decks. I expect that's going to change somewhat at the Pro Tour, because I think that, like, blue-black Nicobolus and, like, a more Grixis build of Nicobolus, and I believe Storm, and possibly even, like, blue-white GPG or Esper GPG, I think all of those are going to be, like, decks that teams potentially play. But, I still think the top 3 decks are just Red, Black, Stompy, and Storm. So, like, I don't think that the blue's worth the splash right now. The next PT is this weekend. It's the team PT though, so like keep that in mind when you're looking at results, that like you can literally show up to this PT as a standard player and go 0-18, and if your teammates wins line up correctly, you can still like top 8, or like you can still, you know, go undefeated on a day or whatever. I think Grixis is pretty bad, and I think people are sleeping on Storm. I think Storm only has like one really bad match, and like people tell me it's not that bad. But the biggest thing I see about Storm, and the reason that I always mention Storm, is like I've not found a 60 or 75 of Storm that I like yet, but I think there's more room to tinker with Storm. So like when you go to the red-black list, like, your main deck is, like, almost locked at 58 cards. Your sideboard is, like, probably locked at, like, 11 cards. And, you know, those aren't guarantees, but, like, you know, like, basically out of your 75 cards, there's probably 65 or more of them that are locked into every reasonable build. So there's not that much room for those decks to grow. Whereas, like, people are still just, like, tuning Storm and stuff like that, and it's already a reasonable deck. Like, it would not surprise me at all if a professional team that's like locked themselves away in a house for a week have really just broke the hell out of Storm somehow that we don't know. On a personal level, I am 7-3 with Storm, and the only games that I've felt I've lost are to the red-black decks. Like, they seem like they're hard to beat. But like people like Hodgepodge who have more experience with the deck tell me I'm just wrong, and that like that it's better, that like it's a hard match, but like Storm's not that big of a dog. And as from the red-black side, I'm like X and 1 versus Storm, so like it's all depending on the player and the play skill, and it's all relative, and like there's luck involved, so it's like really hard to break it down. But I do really think there's something there with Storm. Like, Karn is obviously a powerful card in any deck that you can be ticking it down. Psy is an extremely powerful card. And Paradoxical Outstorm are all just like extremely powerful cards. And then I think there's a lot of sideboarding that's like unexplored yet. Like, I saw somebody play Tempest Gens in the sideboard, which I think is a pretty neat idea. I saw somebody played Zaphid in the sideboard, which might be something that the deck needs. I've saw some builds play no effort fluxes and just be on the Karn Sai plan or like the Antiquities War plan. Like there's just so many ways you can build that deck. And until we know which, 60 plus of the deck is like guaranteed to be the best deck, I really think it's hard for us just to write it off. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bad builds out there, but like, I don't know. I like the deck enough that I've spec'd on the cards. Let's put it that way. I don't spec too often on things that I don't consider sure things. So if I'm specking on Storm cards, like, I don't know. My track record with specs is really good, is all I want to say. And I just see something there. But anyway, so that's going to do it for us for the stream today. We got a nice little 2-3. We're probably back below 1750 rating because we've not done very well this week. All of that sucks. And we're going to find somebody to host. And then after we find somebody to host, we are going to leave. So Eric Hawkins is playing Modern. Shock Trooper's playing Modern. Of course, it's freaking Shock Trooper. Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to host Nassif since it says he's revealing and playing his Pro Tour deck. So I'm kind of curious what his Pro Tour deck is. So I'm going to go watch him while I do my work. So take care, everybody, and thanks for stopping by. And for anybody who cares, there's going to be a zombie video going up on my YouTube. Links down below in the stream in like the next 10 minutes or so. And I get crushed and I get salty and I'm whiny and bitchy the entire time. It might give you something to laugh at. Take care, everybody, and thanks for coming by.